Good evening, everybody. Good day, depending on when you're watching this. It's 8:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12/29/2019. When you look at the market, you got 193 into it and 16.9, almost 17 billion in the daily. When you look at the pricing right now, and you see Bitcoin at 73.62. And basically, I want to show you one thing, and a lot of people know this, but the dominance factor of Bitcoin at 69%. So whatever Bitcoin does, the other coins tend to do. See right here where it reached 74.92. Hut, 74.93. Oh boy. You know what happens then? This year has shown this. When you get to these type of posts of the highest point in a long time, bot software and human sell, lock and load. And when they lock and load, that's what happens. They're basically just saying, you know what, I'm taking my profits right now because this is the top point it's reached in the past. This is going to keep going on like this until the catalyst. And that's the thing. The catalyst is going to drive it past that point and lock and load this coming year. When you look at Ethereum, look at the graph. The same type of action. Same thing for XRP. And the dominance factor, you got to understand one thing, where things are going. Look at what Apollo's doing with the CEX, with the fiat cash buying through the CEX. That's going to be huge to take away this dominance factor of Bitcoin for Apollo, because they will have the national currency, not the national, but the currencies in Africa buying through the CEX, because Apollo's in Africa cranking, signing the Lesotho MOU, and having people able to go to local locations to load up their Apollo debit cards. Well, and that's the thing you got to think about. The people of Africa are going to be locking and loading. They can use their currencies in every one of those countries and buy Apollo with Apollo CEX, which is coming out this coming month, and it's like 2 days away. Not that it's coming out 2 days away, but it's coming out in January, and there's so much going on in January for Apollo. CEX, the DEXs, the new website, the Africa, maybe even Egypt. They're going back to Egypt for a second meeting. Signing these countries in that region of the world is happening. Apollo's doing it. Getting in on the ground floor of anything, that's the key. Getting into something that's not going to be affected by BTC's actions, ding dong. Okay, so that is my fair warning to you, is that when you can get in this low and you're going into a coin that's future is so bright, has the CEX advantage, the fiat advantage, that's where you're going to see much better reactions. And this title got me. I laughed out loud when I saw this one. Bitcoin was just rejected at 7,500. This garbage of these type of things. Now, this is my own personal opinion. It wasn't rejected. Okay, it was basically people taking their profits, bots helping out with that. Okay, blockchain projects are just entering the Netscape phase. Article isn't bad, but it's a promotion type of article for different projects. But the title is the case. But you look at what's happening right now. You got Ethereum this year. Big things like the halving, which may or may not affect the Bitcoin price in the short term. In the long term, I know it will. Then you have the Ethereum working towards their proof of stake. You have Apollo leaving proof of stake and going to the DAG consensus protocol. Apollo is leading the way for technology. And when you see what they do with DAG this year, along with ARKNET, which is going to be DApps, smart contracts, and transactions over, I should say, TPS over 1 million plus. This is the future. I don't have a intro of Apollo at the beginning and a outro at the end of Apollo just because I like the way it looks. No. The reason why these videos are done and featuring Apollo, because I know what Apollo is going to do. They put the all-in-one together. They are going to be your best return on investment besides Bitcoin in the long term and XRP. This is just my opinion. Those are 3 coins to think about. When you get into the issue of using Bitcoin for, and it's like it's going to knock out national currencies, this article is pretty good. Bitcoin and crypto in general are not yet being used in the same manner as government-issued currencies. And we believe that it is more useful to think they are working as cooperative rather than parallel or competing economic ecosystems. So basically, that is the case at the moment. You're not going to see anything where it's taking over national currencies, Bitcoin. But are you going to see Apollo in Africa maybe doing it and not trying to take it over? No. The country says we want it, and they do it through the central bank. And why would they do it? Apollo's currency is 0% inflation. 0. This is why the ADF group signed with Apollo, with a partnership, and they are promoting Apollo through Africa to all the 54 nations in Africa. It's one reason, not just the 0% inflation, but the all-in-one platform. And it has what they're doing right now with a light wallet app for QR scanning and still much more. But anyway, getting into this, Google bans crypto app MetaMask from the Play Store. Idiots. SEC CryptoMom. This article I'm going to link down below. Now this is not just them talking about her at all. This is her, Hester Pierce, talking to Cointelegraph in a very extensive interview. When you look down at the bottom down here, all different discussions, and really talking about how, when you read it, how Congress is more interested now than they have been in cryptocurrencies and interested in working with the SEC. And they have had a contentious relationship with Congress, but she says it's looking better right now, and that Congress does have the control. So the thing is, Congress is going to work something out. There's a lot of good bills in Congress right now in the United States in favor of crypto. Millennials trust Bitcoin more than Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. You see that picture right there? In 2017, when the market was cranking in the bull run, it was a hype-driven bull run. So much hype, and the millennials, they just were good. People that never dealt with cryptos were downloading the app because their friends told them to. And they downloaded the app and they started buying right away through the apps and going on and onto their laptops, and they kept doing it. It was just a feverish thing. The next bull run, you're going to have the millennials involved, and they're going to be. They're going to be locking and loading because they see the investment potential is massive. And that's where Bitcoin does come in handy, because that draws in so much attention. You can now buy Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies on Bitcoin.com using your credit and debit card. I'm not promoting that site, no, but it's a new thing for them. That's good. Square may soon add these Bitcoin investment features. This article talking about Square may be adding these different features for investing, but you have to just take it for a grain of salt that it's just a maybe they'll be doing it. So I'll have to wait and see what Square does for it. So getting over to here, the Apollo website. See this website? Say goodbye to it. Nice looking website. It was very bright. I like the black background, that nice style, with the bright white typeface right there. The bold, the beautiful. Okay. This video, I never really liked this video in the first place back 2 years ago. I thought it was a little dorky, but it does break down everything. But I wouldn't pay attention to that. There's other videos on YouTube, mine, because I've been covering Apollo for 2 years, that are much more explanational, enjoyable. Okay, just joking with you. But anyway, this website is going bye-bye. The wallet page is very easy to download the wallets and get your wallets. Open up a web wallet if you want to. And the future, you've got the DEX. You've got the CEX. Hold on one second here. Where are we going here? The DEX for the black mode, coming. That's going to be in January also, from what they said. What they're looking at, their goal to get it done. So the DEX built into your wallet with no verification, no KYC. Your CEX coming on the new website. And 7 altcoins you need to watch in 2020. That was pieced. This one here is an excerpt from it about Apollo. I'm not going to play it right now because I'll play that again tomorrow. I've been playing it almost every day. But it is big. Okay, George Sebastian is big. Probably pronounced his name wrong, but he has been added to the people at Apollo as an advisor, and he still works with Huawei for blockchain security. This is a huge ad. Steve said they're adding the best of the best. So this is coming, along with a white paper, the new website which I told you about, the Apollo branding and structure is changing. So you have the rebranding and tech paper, apps, new product details of 9 new products. The all-in-one, which has had the 1 to 2 seconds of speed, beating everybody else over the last 2 years, is kicking butt. And the thing is, it's still at a super low price, so you can get involved in it. And being that this is happening, Apollo Africa with the ADF partnership, this is huge. They've signed the MOU with Lesotho. It's the first of many countries to be signed. And Steve says minimally he's looking at 10 plus. So guess what? This is going to be big. If they get Egypt, it's going to be huge. Okay? Huge. So incredible meetings so far in Egypt. We have been more than impressed with their leadership. Egypt certainly has one of the most forward-thinking governments around. Ding dong. Apollo Africa, Middle East, Asia. So much is going on, ladies and gentlemen. All I gotta say is January, New Year's Day is coming up in just a couple days. Okay? That begins the month of the biggest month ever for Apollo. It's going to be left and right announcements. Bang, bang, bang. So if you don't have notifications turned on, turn them on. Because I'm going to be posting, I post pretty much every day, but you're going to get breaking news talking about what's coming out with Apollo. That they just released this. They just hired this somebody. They just did this in Egypt. Woo-hoo. Okay, everybody, have a good one.